Hi, this is Sean from Settled, and today we're continuing our series of training videos, really diving into the individual components of Settled to give you the inner workings of each of the modules that we have. And today we're going to be looking at the child support and spousal support affidavit. So when you log onto the site, as always, you're going to come to your dashboard, and from there you need to be able to move through to access the module to do the input information on the child support affidavit. So you can do it one of two ways. Click the Manage Client Documents section. That will take you to the Manage the Client and the Documents. Or you can just click this note over to the left here where it says Manage Clients and Documents. Again, as we had talked about before, we try to be redundant in accessing things on Settle to make it easy to move around. We're working with Client 6 that we'd previously set up that's being used as the example. And you can go to the Child Support Affidavit one of two ways. You can go from the drop-down menu here and access it directly, or what you can do is you can go through the View Documents icon, which will take you to your main client page where you'll have all of the modules, and you can click the Child Support Spousal Support Affidavit. Now, the way it's laid out is it's geared with caption information, it's geared with income information, and then it has parts 1, 2, and 3, everything laid out. And then you can, of course, we'll do it when we're done, we can generate a PDF. Also, if you need any instructions, you can pull up any of the instructions that are laid out by the court. We have that accessible for you through this icon. Pre-populated will be the name of your client, the opposing party, and keep in mind as we're working through this, we're calling our client and you client the opposing party. Factor in that you're doing the 21 for the case number and you have the CVD number here. These X's are laid out because we're, in this case, requesting alimony, and here we are requesting the child support. And the reason I'm showing you that is it will ask for what is being laid out there. For instance, the number of children in the home, any other dependents. Once you enter a number in, that'll change. And then here, this is laid out as if you're seeking the alimony. When you put in from whom you're seeking it, that'll disappear. The same thing with the child support. So once everything's put in and in a section, as always, you want to make sure you do two things. Press save and watch for the green arrow. Once the green arrow, banner, flag comes up, you're saved. You can close this section. And then move on to the income information. You can enter in their social security number, their position, this person's self-employed and consulting, phone number and everything entered through. If you need to add other types of jobs, you can do that. If you need to get rid of one, just hit the trash can icon. And then again, save everything, green banner, we'll note it's saved. Move on to our income. Here, let's just say the base wage with bonuses, other income, and interest information. Let's say that you find out midstream that it's really not 400 but it's 350. You can of course change that here, and if you note here in real time as we're entering in information, it's changing what the total gross monthly income is, so you have that reference. If you have rental income, you can select that and you can add in and enter any of the rental income information. If you have business income, you can select that and it will give you a pop-up and give you fields to add all of that in. In this situation, we're not doing that, but I wanted to show that for you. So again, save everything. Once everything is saved, you can either select this icon and move to part 2, or you could reference it up here. As you notice, I didn't press anything for save, but those icons or those flags and banners popped up. We have an automatic save feature. We'll do that periodically just to make sure that you're not losing any data. So we've got everything saved. Let's move to part 2. Again, part 2. Enter in child's name. If there's responsibility for other children, the number, the name of those children. You can enter in school year, daycare, summer daycare. The software will automatically figure out, based on, I think, a 10-week summer period, what the amount is per year. Health insurance for the child or children, and then the number of overnights with the party that you are representing. So once all that's done, again, save everything, and you can move to part 3 through clicking this icon or coming to part 3 here. And then in part 3, we simply have laid out here, we've got the gross monthly income, We've got the federal taxes. We've got state income taxes. These are all things the program did not calculate. This needs to be put in. And then as you make changes here, it will go ahead and give you the net monthly income that we'll put in here based on these deductions. If there are other expenses, simply click those. Those would be considered as well. Again, save before you move on. Shared family expenses. Again, all of these are laid out. The categories taken directly from the inputs that you would otherwise have had for the child support, spousal support affidavit. It will aggregate everything as you have here. So let's just say that water was really, $50 a month. It'll change in real time as that's being done to whatever you would change it to. Add everything in. You can leave something blank, or you could put in a 0. It makes no difference. It'll still will not be included anything other than a 0 value for purposes of the affidavit. Prorated expenses for the children. Here we've estimated them at $1,200. You add that in, it'll populate here and give you the difference total for children, total for self as far as it goes with expenses. Save that. From a standpoint of the needs and expenses, again, all you need to go through is hit the ones that are applicable. Anything else will be left blank. The program will automatically pre-populate to self and children subtotals to have that. If there are other expenses, simply add those. And if you don't need any, you can simply remove. There'll always be one left as a default with the ability to add notes. You can also add notes up here as well. Let's just say that here we want to make the note 2 dogs and a cat. Go ahead and save everything here. Can close this section down to make it a little easier to move and work with. Go to the debt expenses. We've got a monthly payment of $1,220 on a $5,000 Bank of America credit card. If there's any overdraft protection or a balance, you can enter that. That would populate through. And of course, with other loans, you could enter those as need be. It'll add the total monthly payments up, total balances based on everything that had been entered. Let's just say that there's another loan, another credit card. Let's say that this is to Visa, and the monthly payment is $75, and the balance is $23.50, and this is a Visa. So once that's on there, it'll take into account and add the two of these together and the balances together and give you the populated total there. And then ultimately the summary of expenses. It'll take previously populated and entered your shared expenses, what you'd put in for the children. These can't be changed here. You can change them here or above. And then individual and child expenses from that standpoint. Totals are added up there, and then you've got an estimate as far as it goes, how you came up with those. Save that, then everything's squared away there. Now, what you can do is you can then generate a PDF, and since we know we're asking for alimony and child support, enter that. You can include or not include the confidentiality notice. I'll show you that. Go ahead and proceed with that. It'll make the PDF, and then what you do is you get a captioned PDF showing that child support and alimony is being sought from the opposing party, and then everything is laid out, pre-populated, squared away, ready to be filed, ready to be signed. As you can see, the notes came through here. Any of the notations that we had previously put through there, everything laid out, ready to be signed, squared away that way. So that is the overview of the child support and the spousal support affidavit. If there are any questions, anything at all, please email us. Even if there's modifications that you think would help the program work better, any feedback in any form, please email us at info@settled.com. And thanks as always for using and supporting Settled, and have a great day.